Alright, shalom. Before I begin, like always, I want to give infinite praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of your millstone, the middle teacher, Ruel. And peace and salutations be unto you, full of alchemy, brothers. Hopefully, like men that are also pushing out this word in truth, faith, and sincerity. And literally in this lesson, the title of this video actually is going to be titled, Ye that fear the Lord. Alright? And what comes with it. Alright? Because and that specific phrasing, all right, is basically the I want to put emphasis on that, all right, because that comes from the book of Sirach, the second chapter, all right, which is a well-known book, a well-known chapter, all right, especially when it comes to self-exhortation, all right. So I'm gonna just bring that out. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." All right. And also one point I wanted to harp on as well, all right, is that just this past week, it's a spirit because but there's Zaquan Zainala here at the DC camp made a good point, all right, is that it always comes down to ye that fear the Lord, all right, because that's where the spotlight, so to say, or the attention is being brought upon. All right, them that fear the Lord. All right, and of course, the Lord, the power that we serve, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, it's those same men that's always having the Lord's eyes upon. All right, and that's why in this walk of ours, all right, in this walk, all right, that we're traveling on, right, we come across what many can't even begin to say, all right, but distractions, inconveniences, all right, and plenty of oppositions, all right, and that comes with fearing the Lord, man, all right, and that's why I just read it, but to constantly endure, all right. What do you think constant means? All right, it's self-explanatory, man, all right. I mean, it's gonna keep coming, and I wanted to get a good example. All right, when you go into the book of 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, all right, because there's plenty of examples. You'll always find plenty of examples in the Holy Bible, man. All right, of men, the individuals that fear the Lord, right, and they themselves had to have that spotlight shine on them, all right, for the purpose of facing adversity, all right, for the purpose of the building up of their own selves, man. All right, because not any other person could just say, "Yeah, I fear the Lord," and not have works. All right. So like everybody has lots to play, and in this specific instance, we're speaking of the Apostle Paul. All right, which he himself can tell you the many things that he had to go through just to serve in this ministry. All right, the ministry of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. So, well, actually, before I go into 2 Corinthians, I'm gonna get Sirach, still in the same chapter 2. I'm gonna go down to verse 7. All right, this is where the title of the video comes from. It says, "Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail." Verse 9, "Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy." All right, you see that? And one common thing those verses repeated in itself is that phrase, man. Ye that fear the Lord. All right. All right. Only them that believe in the Most High hope and apply these things. All right. Not going aside lest ye fall, man. All right. Believing in Him, believing that your reward is not gonna fail. All right. Hope for good, being optimistic about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and everything else that comes with it and the promises. All right. You have to keep these things, all right. You that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right, in the midst of the inconveniences that's brought upon you in this world, man. All right, and everything else, and then some that comes with it, man. Whether it be good or bad, all right. Because all in all, it comes from the Lord Himself. All right. Now this is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and 22. It says, "Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I." Verse 23, it says, "Are the ministers of Hamashiach? I speak as a fool. I am more." Salaki. It says, "I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure. and prisons more frequent, and deaths oft. All right. So what we're reading about who? The Apostle Paul. All right. He himself can tell you. All right, being a minister of Hamashiach Yahushai. All right, to testify of him. All right. It says that what, in labors more abundant, stripes above measure. All right, prisons more frequent. Obviously, what, talking about the different oppositions. All right, perils that even us brothers. All right, because I'm not speaking just as from the Apostle Paul. All right, I'm also speaking to myself, and I'm also speaking to you brothers as well, man. All right, brothers that have been through different situations, not even I myself has probably not been through. All right, the Apostle Paul just mentioned what, prisons more frequent. All right. There's brothers out there that have dealt with the oppositions. All right, I'm talking about oppositions. Think about dealing with the law, right? For the word of the Lord. All right, and it said in deaths oft. All right, it's self-explanatory, man. All right, losing a life, dealing with death. All right, the spirit of death and this truth. All right. So I'm gonna keep reading, verse 24. It says, of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck, a night and a day I have been in the deep. Verse 26, and journeyings often, and perils of water, and perils of robbers, and perils by mine own countrymen, and perils by the heathen, and perils in the city, and perils in the wilderness, and perils in the sea, and perils among false brethren. You see that? All right, so literally the Apostle Paul is giving you just a list of just inconvenience, man. All right, certain things that comes with them trials and tribulation. All right, literally the Lord testing your mettle, man. All right, and when the Apostle Paul was no stranger. All right, as a matter of fact, not even just the Apostle Paul, like I mentioned before, the men of old. Look at Job. All right, just go ahead and ask Job. As a matter of fact, go read about Job, all right? Because in that book, it goes just into that, man, all right? Because, we're not going through certain bets like it was when you're reading the first chapter, all right, of Job chapter 1, but we are being proved, however, all right? And if you notice, all these things, all right, Paul being stoned, shipwrecked, right, beaten with rods, right, our own people putting hell upon him, right? And what all this for the laboring, for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And what, you don't think we go through the same thing? All right, that's actually, as a matter of fact, when you look up the word peril in the what's that, the so I can get it. When you look up the word peril in the Adam Online Dictionary, it literally means, I have it up. It means danger, risk, hazard, jeopardy. All right, injury, loss, or destruction, peril, danger. What's that? 10th century from Latin, perculum, an attempt, trial, experiment, risk, danger. See that? So it's all synonymous with what? Just Lord are deliberately giving you oppositions, but we're all for the purpose of hardening you, man. All right, we just read it, man. That's what we just brought it up with. That's how I opened up this video with the book of Sirach, the second chapter, man. All right, constantly endure, and that's actually what endure means, to be made hardened. All right, how are you gonna be made hardened, man? How are you gonna get experience? All right, how is another man gonna tell you how to deal with a certain situation if that man hasn't gone through that certain scenario to begin with? All right, because that same man went through those perils. That man went through that danger, that jeopardy, all right, that hazard. All right, he's been through that attempt, all right, and past the different experiments the Lord threw at him, the different tests the Lord threw at him, All right, so this is back in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and 27. 2 Corinthians 11 and 27, it says, in weariness and painfulness and watchings often, and hunger and thirst, and fastings often, and cold and nakedness, beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. All right, and just like hey man, as it is written, I endure all things for the elect's sake. All right, and what the sake of the elect, offering our body as a living sacrifice, that comes with being that comes with ministering, right? To serve, or to labor, all right? And all this, that was listed, all right, like the Apostle Paul said, all right. In the many, actually, as a matter of fact, in verse 26, it mentions about the journeyings, all right, in waters, all right, perils in the country, right, perils in the city. We'll think about it like this, all right. Even in the ancient world, what did the Apostle Paul have to do? He had to actually be a pilgrim, right? He had to travel all across Europe and Asia, all right, the land of Israel in itself, all right, to spread the word, to spread the gospel, all right. So he definitely had to, what we just read it, all right, because obviously he doesn't go in depth, but you can just imagine the different perils, and now that we know what peril means, all right, we have a better understanding of it, all right. So we understand the many dangers, all right, the many jeopardized scenarios that Apostle Paul probably had to go through, man, all right, that he did go through, all right. And it's the same thing with us, all right. Now I wouldn't say on a lower level, but just in a modern day world, in a modern backdrop. Same thing with the Apostle Paul. At that time, it was the ancient world under the Roman rule. All right. So it's the same thing now, man. We're still going through perils. All right, we're still being jeopardized every day, but what again? For the purpose of bettering ourselves and the Lord testing our mettle. All right, and what for the elect's sake. All right, for the word's sake. All right. So let's see. That was pretty much the point, man. All right, just putting that vibration out there, man. Because if you notice, all these things, the Apostle Paul had to constantly endure. All right, and what he mentioned, what death often, all right, and watching weariness, painfulness often, you know. Actually, as a matter of fact, we'll close it out with this. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. It says, "And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him." All right, and one thing about it is that brothers have made plenty of videos, all right, just speaking on this topic in itself. Just bettering yourself, dealing with trials and tribulations, constantly enduring. But honestly, we never get tired of it. All right. Yeah, I've been through this lesson, once or twice. All right, but it's a good thing to go back to it. All right. You have forgotten the exhortation, which speaketh unto you as unto children. All right. So never forget this. All right. This is verse 6. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth." And we know that word scourgeth, all right, is definitely associated with especially being hit or smitten in this case. All right, now the Lord literally smiting us, all right, day by day. Well, yeah, the Lord actually is, man. All right, scourging us. All right, but what? Every son whom he receiveth. And if you read on down, it goes into that, how whom the Lord loveth, whom the Lord is dealing with, he's going to make them go through those certain perils, man. All right, just like how the Apostle Paul did. All right. All right, just like the book of Job, just like how what he had to go through. All right, the scriptures call it to carry your cross. It could be something specific. It could be something for something you're going through for that moment. All right, there's plenty of things I can say right now, even just speaking on it. Different scenarios that I had to go through. All right, so okay, that was a total inconvenience for me. And then when that certain tribulation is over, when that certain trial is over, I look back and say, wow, that was so set up, And the more you go through it, the more you see it. But you can't forget you truly can't forget the basics, man. All right, that this is all proven. All right, I bet you can look at it in the same way when just like in Job, the first chapter. All right, it's the same thing, and this is what happens to us every day. All right, and these things often. All right, and what unto those that fear the Lord, ye that fear the Lord. All right, and actually, I'll just go back. I'll just end it off with that. Going back in Sirach 2:8, it says, "Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail." Verse 9, "Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy." See, just to end it off on a good note, we understand that whatever you're going through, again, you're a man that fears the Lord, man. You know? So what, you're supposed to hope for good, all right? For the everlasting joy and mercy. And you best believe, you're supposed to believe in that expected end that the Lord has in store for us, man. All right? Even with those short L's, all right, we're also gaining big wins, man. All right, at the same time. All right? And that's part of that exhortation. All right? Well, unto those that fear the Lord, man, and it all comes to fruition. It all comes back to what's the word? It's all a circle, man. All right? It all just makes sense. You know? And with that certain understanding, you know and you understand that if you come to serve the Lord, all right, that's what comes with it. These inconveniences often. All right? It's also part of that scourging. All right, for every sin the Lord receiveth, man. All right? So this video was edifying as well as exhorting. I'm going to close out by giving infinite praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, that belongs to the apostles and elders of the millstone, the men who teach and rule well, and peace and salutations be unto you, full of alchemy, brothers, that also push out this word in truth, faith, and in sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say